Okay, looks like we've got a couple people coming in still. So how can I help you guys? What are your questions? Anybody? Because yeah, this session's simply a Q&A. So I'll answer any questions you guys have about assignments or what's upcoming or anything like that, but I'm not doing a presentation or anything like that. So what questions do you guys have?
One question I have, this is about the exemplar that you had stated that was posted in the Moodle. I cannot find that anywhere. I've gone through, I print everything out for each module.
Okay.
And I have printed everything out. The only exemplar I can find is the one in module 5.
Okay, let me look here real quick. Let me see if I can find it quickly. Sorry, got to go through my editing mode here. Just a second. Excuse me. Okay, so we were talking about for the case study.
For case study number 2 is for the assignment that's due tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am. You know what? I'm not seeing it either. That's really strange. I know I posted it. Let me see if there's one other place I may have put it. Hang on. You know what, Suzanne, I apologize. It's not here. I will post that for you guys as soon as we hang up. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see one other place. Okay. Nope, not there either. Okay. Yeah, I apologize. I will post that for you. I know. I thought I posted it.
And you said, I'm like, okay, let me look for the resources. And I went back. I went into module 4 when it was open, and I just couldn't find it. I'm like, okay. I said, I know I'm my job is technology. I can find things usually.
Like, okay, maybe I need to call you. Yeah, maybe I need to call you next time because yeah, I swear I posted it. In fact, a couple of people commented on it about how helpful it was. So it must have disappeared at some point. I just didn't realize that. But yeah, I'll get that posted as soon as we're done.
Okay.
And I will put it in something that's like, look here, here's the case study number 2 model.
And all we're turning in is a PowerPoint. You don't want the 2 templates.
That's correct. Yeah, I just need the PowerPoint. I've already graded everybody's templates and have turned them in. So I don't need to see those again.
Okay. Did you post the feedback or the grades? Because I haven't gotten anything.
Yeah, I just did it though about 30 minutes ago.
Oh, okay.
And like an hour delay on grades because it gives me time to go back and edit before it'll actually show up on your end.
Okay.
Other questions?
Are we just posting a picture this week, or you need references with that?
Just a picture.
Okay.
Yeah, I made it really difficult and time consuming for you guys since it's Thanksgiving week and school's out and I know everybody needs a break. Goodness knows I do.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Other questions?
I was looking ahead to the part 1 of the exam, and it says for any of the resources, that can be any of the resources that you post in the resource folders as well, not just the ones that you've included that we've reflected on. Is that correct?
Yes,
okay.
It can be any resource that was done throughout the course. It's posted in the resource folders as well as, the assigned readings, videos, etc. And if there's other stuff that you have gathered from outside, through your own personal research, that can be included as well.
Okay. And on the for the assignment that's due tomorrow, do you want it as specific as like on a given I have the standard, and act, but do you want specific activities for like a specific, say, for 7th grade, the giver? Do you want to go that detailed into?
You don't have to go that detailed. I would sort of stay more like at the unit level kind of thing.
Okay.
Here's our basic objectives, and we want the students to engage in, I don't know, at least one collaborative project and, you know, that kind of stuff. But it does not have to, you don't have to go into tons of detail and do like a lesson plan for every day or anything like that. Just kind of stay at more that, what I would call a unit plan level. So you can be somewhat global.
Well, okay.
So if you use that template the week before, you should have already answered a bunch of it, right?
Yes, that's the idea.
Okay.
All of this, yeah, all of this builds on each other so that, you know, like I said, that it looks, you know, if you just walked in and looked at just the final exam, you'd be like, oh my gosh. But yeah, a lot of it is just going to be copying and pasting from previous assignments.
Okay.
I find it's hard to do one standard in isolation.
It is hard.
Because so many standards play into one another, and I'm like, wait, no, that kind of goes with this other standard, but it does tie into this standard, but you can't do it to this standard until you bring this other standard in.
Yeah, and that's why, you know, if you guys were, you know, doing this, like for example, when I was in Dallas, you know, my schools all engaged in very proactive collaborative planning. And so when they would do planning, they would obviously, sorry, my dogs are about to get in trouble from me. They would usually bundle standards together. And, you know, as we all know too, sometimes standards will build on another standard, or you have to at least have the conceptual knowledge and understanding to be able to do the next standard sort of in the series or whatever. And also too, you know, depending on your state or your district's curriculum too, sometimes they don't make sense in terms of the sequence or the order that they're given to you. You know, so sometimes it may be that you're working on, I don't know, pick a number, standard number 1, standard number 6, and standard number 12 all at the same time. But at the same, you know, saying that, I just want, like I said, I don't want to make it more complex right now than it needs to be for you guys for the sake of the work. It's more a matter of really dig deep with one standard just so that we can, you know, we want to make sure you can unpack it and that you can create aligned curricular elements as well as instructional strategies tied to that unpacked standard. Now, like I said, you know, in normal collaborative planning, you would probably do some bundling and all of that kind of stuff because quite frankly, they give us way more to teach than we have time to teach kind of thing. So it just makes sense to do that. But like I said, for the sake of this, it's really more about understanding how you unpack a standard, how you align that to the curriculum, how do you align that to your instruction, and then is it going to be tested appropriately so that your students are prepared for any state or national or whatever assessments they need to do.
And for assessments, you just don't want like a summative assessment. You want all of the informal, formative assessments that you do throughout the course of a unit.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And like I said, again, you guys don't have to be real specific because this, you know, this is, like I said, it's more for you guys to understand this at the conceptual level than it is to get into all the details. But yeah, you know, a plan should include things like, I don't know, if you're going to do a daily exit ticket, you know, that might be one of your formative assessment pieces. If you're going to do checks for understanding, you know, after this concept's taught or whatever, that kind of stuff should be in there. But it's almost more like a laundry list at this point than it would be. You know, if you were to take all that, then you could plug that into a really nicely developed lesson plan. But, you know, if you're staying at the unit level, like I said, you can be somewhat global.
Okay. All right, that makes sense because I think I was getting way too detailed.
Yeah, I don't want a dissertation from you guys.
I think that's my special ed brain because I always go into the what feeds into it and what they need to know. And then I that's my special ed brain that goes backwards into very feeder skills and then goes into it.
Yeah, I have a special ed background too. So hang on one sec. Let me put my collie outside, out the room. She's harassing the little one. Come on. Go. Sorry about that. Yeah, Yeah, no, I have a special ed background too. So yeah, when they ask me to write an objective or something and everybody else's is like, 6 words, mine's gonna be like, almost 2 paragraphs long kind of thing. Cause yeah, it's like, here's the understandings that they have to get here. And here's what I need them to take away and all that. And everybody's like, we didn't ask for that. We just wanted objective. Make it easy.
Right. Okay, so I think I was just making it way too detailed.
I understand.
Okay,
Any
that's
other
all
questions?
I have.
Hang on, I've got a Stevie texting me. Let me see if it's somebody's trying to get in or something to the meeting. Just one sec, guys. No, she's I'll talk to her in a minute. Okay, anything else, guys? Y'all feeling okay about the assignments? And I went ahead and opened up the rest of the course for you guys. So not to intimidate or scare you, if you really need a break, don't even look at the next couple weeks. But I also know too that, I've had some students who are like, if I can just go ahead and get as much done as possible because I've got a little bit of extra time, I went ahead and did that. But just remember, everything's not due. I just noticed I have a mistake on a date in there too. Anyway, we've got some stuff upcoming still.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Deborah, are you trying to talk? I can't tell. Yeah, we can't hear you. Try to see if I can unmute you. Hang on a second. Yeah, it won't give me the option to unmute you. Do you want to write it real quick in the chat? Yeah, sorry, Deborah, we still can't hear. Deborah, if you need to, you can just text me or call me when we get off, since we can't hear your question. Sorry. Anybody else? Chelsea, Brandy? I don't know who the caller is. All I can see is your number. Holly, y'all good? Oh, yes. So in terms of the assignment for this week, where it's the picture assignment, all I want from you is a picture. I don't need a cover page, no references, none of that, just a picture. So, I know a lot of people are like, well, that's a stupid assignment. It really is pretty insightful. I found it to be one of the cooler assignments that I've ever done with students, because what you post or what you send me and submit as your picture is very telling about your perception of education and what you love most about it. Like I said, it really ends up being pretty cool. So it's one of my favorite assignments. Okay. Going once, going twice. Any other questions, guys? Don't overthink the last couple of assignments. Like I said, I'm not looking for dissertation or 60 pages, pages of information. Just show me that you understand what we're doing and then how you would apply that in a real world setting. And like I said, I'm not asking for a ton of specificity or anything like that. You're welcome to use bullet points, numbers, whatever, things like that. It doesn't even have to be paragraph form. And like I said, you can do it as a lesson plan if you wanted to, like for a day, but I would encourage you to stay more at that sort of unit level. And, like Suzanne said, if the one standard you're trying to use doesn't really make sense without another standard, I mean, you can throw it in there and unpack it and bundle them together, but you don't have to. And if possible, I prefer you stay with just one standard, just so there's continuity with the assignments. Because if you start adding more, it just gets a little more complex than it's probably necessary. Okay.
All righty.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Y'all have a good rest of your weekend.
You too. Happy Thanksgiving.
You too.
Thanks, you too. Bye, guys. I can turn off the recording here.